advantage, you would have to like Ricky Ward because he is a player who's a great clutch shooter, and he's the one that's won tournaments. So we'll wait and see. Looking a little more comfortable though, Phil. Richard-Wolfe on lane 23.
Boy, he's settled in nicely. A couple of errant shots in the first three frames of match one, and he has come back strong. Good look at Ricky Ward, 31 years old, out of Fort Myers, Florida.
And something distracted Ricky. If I was Ricky, I'd put the ball down, start all over again. He's decided to hang on to the ball. Well, that's why I do the talking and Ricky does the bowling.
Splattered the pins for a strike in the first frame.
And you know, all the players have reputations, and Wolfe understands the reputation of Ricky Ward as being, you know, just a tenacious clutch performer.
Light.
A little quick.
Said he threw that ball a little quick. Has to give it a chance to hook back into the pocket. It's the 3 and the 9. Difficult spare with the double wood.
Making his 4th championship round appearance this year. 5 telecasts in '98.
Well converted.
Not getting no tougher than this.
Wolfe now up in the second frame after an impressive win over Amleto Monticelli in the opening match. Wolfe won it with a 235 to Monticelli's 226. Shot a little high, right on the nose.
All right. Chance to really take advantage of Ricky Ward, and unfortunately comes in high. Now let's take a look at Dexter footwork of the pros, and it is Richard-Wolfe. And we're using wood approaches and synthetic lanes this week, and Rich has opted to use a heel and a sole combination to create better leverage and a more powerful release. That's the Dexter footwork of the pros, and he does convert the 4-7.
This match all even as we head into the third frame. Jason Couch in that number 2 position. Our tournament leader, Tim Chris. Richard going to some rosin.
Just to get a little better feel. Keep his hand dry. Solid 7-pin.
All right.
But he feels good about that shot. He threw it where he wanted to. Didn't get the carry.
Just the 7-pin standing for Wolfe. Would love to win today. In a couple of weeks, he'd be in the TSC.
Hard and straight. Oh, it does. It hangs on, no problem. Had it all the way.
Ricky Ward strike on this frame before he's taking a re-rack. I'll tell you what, it has been a phenomenal year. Look at that Parker Bone, 228.5 average for the season. Walter Ray Williams Jr. last year, 226, so Parker's going to break that. And I had to look in the record books. Marshall Hole in 1987, Player of the Year. You averaged 216.8 that year. How times have changed.
Well, scores have gotten higher. Ricky Ward with the strike on lane 24, and one of the reasons the scores have gotten higher is just the dynamics of the equipment. The bowling balls are so much stronger. Watch this ball as it just eats up that 5-pin. Now these are heavy pins, but the ball didn't seem to care.
What kind of adjustment will Ricky make? He came in light last time on this lane.
Probably a speed adjustment. He said he threw too hard. He made the right adjustment. Ricky Ward getting the double taking an 11-pin lead over Richard-Wolfe in the second match.
He's on a double. Richard-Wolfe, a couple of spares after an opening strike.
Well, better projection down the lane. Came in high on lane 24 in the second frame. Boy, it's such a game of feel and touch, and it comes and goes so quickly. It looked as if he was just absolutely lined in towards the end of the last game, and now just a little bit of a struggle.
Wolfe with a pleasant smile. Picks up the spare. You can access all the latest information about the PBA by checking out the PBA's website at www.pbatour.com. The site, sponsored by Brunswick, features all the latest tournament standings, stories, stats, and news from the PBA, as well as game-by-game updates during match play and scheduled live chats with the pros. Wolfe now in the fifth frame, down by 12.
7-pin again.
Stop making it.
Ball just not making the corner. You can see his average, 216.18. I guess that would have led the averages back in 1987.
Make spare.
Or 84, I think, when you had 213 to lead the tour.
And he said just make the spare, and loss of concentration. Misses the 7-pin.
I can't do that. Can't do that.
Ball just hooking by the 7-pin ever so slightly, and
Can't do that.
you're right, you can't do that. It gives the a huge advantage to Ricky Ward. Both